Spence, it's not just Fury Usyk. I mean, we are very much excited by a triple bill as and when it comes about in the coming months. So Fury Usyk, Wilder Joshua, and Benn Eubank Jr.
Yeah.
If we get 2 of these 3, we'll be happy. If we got all 3,
are we happy with Benn Eubank
then
Jr.
we've won the lottery.
I'm
Are we happy?
I'm not happy with that.
No.
Listen,
are you happy with Benn Eubank Jr. now if it comes about?
No, not until obviously Conor Benn clears his name. I'm going to stand by that. You know, this is absolutely insane what's going on. No, it's insane what's going on though. Like, you know, he's still not proven his innocence. Jurisdiction has lifted the suspension, but
the reason I asked Simon,
come on,
it's almost been taken as a given though that it's happening, because Billy Joe Saunders on this very show the other day was saying, yeah, Benn Eubank, yeah, I'd actually be part of it. Have a listen.
We're just waiting on Eddie with a date. Obviously, I think that he was trying to make the Eubank-Benn fight, and obviously I think the date was going to be on that card. But at the moment, what I'm hearing is that Eddie at the moment, he's just trying to get over a few hurdles to see if he can make it happen this week. So I think this week will be the dying death of what day it is and what day it isn't. But like I say, it's, I'm in the gym twice a day. I'm training.
So, I mean, Billy's saying, I've been told I'm on the undercard.
Yeah, they're not hurdles, they are pole vaults.
Yeah,
you're exactly
vaults,
right.
Yeah.
You know,
Eddie Hearn's got to jump tall buildings to get this one done.
Eddie Hearn wants to get this fight on, obviously, on British soil, and the British Boxing Board of Control, then they have to face this situation. They've got this ongoing situation with the British Boxing Board of Control. Until that's cleared up, no, we don't want to see the fight. I'd rather see the undisputed, the fight that we wanted, because we wanted an undisputed champion. The last one we had was Lennox Lewis back in 1999 when he beat Evander Holyfield. Yeah. That's the fight that obviously we all want to see. And because of the performance of Tyson Fury, people will level this up now. More people will start fancying Alexander Usyk off the back of that performance. But historically with Fury, by the way,
2 weeks
every
ago,
time he's boxed really badly,
back he comes.
Back he comes.
And alternatively, 2 weeks ago, everyone was making the narrative that everyone, first chink in the armour, Ted. We've seen the difficulties that Daniel Dubois put on Usyk, and there we are. You know, I'm actually got. Do you know what I'm more excited about? I would be more excited about, honestly, about watching Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder.
You said that.
I'd be more excited about it.
I'm with you. Stylistically, I think that's the fight that I want to see, and also want to see that because so many people have written Anthony Joshua off, and I think he gets unfair criticism, and I'd like to see him. That's it. That's his opportunity.
Okay, you're back in the WhatsApp group, right? We get that, right? But
I was only muted. I wasn't deleted.
Do you think that there's a likelihood, because we keep on hearing about the scale of this fight, and now we're hearing about Anthony potentially being indexed to Ngannou? He himself, I think, is going. He doesn't see that as a fight, but
Eddie Hearn loves that fight.
I bet he does.
Absolutely, yeah. Listen, it's all about the money. I think that I read somewhere today. I read a report somewhere that they've actually sort of opened up negotiations. They've put that offer to Francis Ngannou. So, you know, watch this space. I mean, like I say, we wanted the Deontay Wilder fight. I think that's the obvious fight. Yeah. You know, and I think that's the fight that we need to see. Boxing fans need to see, but we live in a different world.
Tyson Fury, as often is his wont, has written a cheque that his mouth can't cash, whether it's Piers Morgan or, in this instance, the December 23rd date, because Frank Warren, to be fair to Frank, has been explicit from the outset when he made the announcement about the fight being signed that this is going to happen between now and the end of the Riyadh season, right? So there wasn't a pinpoint date of December the 23rd, and I don't know why there needs to be this. And the irony of it is Tyson calling for December the 23rd, then saying that if he doesn't get that fight on December the 23rd, he sues, and then people saying he's not ready, because he forgot all that when he was calling Anthony Joshua out for a fight a year before, when Anthony Joshua had 6 weeks.
What is this? Like, the Saudis are obviously the paymasters, so what if they call for that fight on December the 23rd? Does it have to happen then?
Yes, but I don't think there's any indication that they are. I don't think there's any inclination that they are calling the fight because they're paying for the fight. So with due respect, if they want it on December the 23rd, then there'll be a challenge if Tyson Fury wants to not be available to make that fight.
I don't know about you, Simon, but what we needed
we must be careful what we say.
What we needed this week, Spencer, was a bit of a breath of fresh air. After what happened with Ngannou and Fury, are we going to see Fury Usyk? Are we ever going to see Wilder against Joshua? The breath of fresh air came in the person of one FABIO Wardley, who was terrific on the show yesterday, Simon.
He was,
and he spoke quite openly and candidly about what he might or might not do next.
Whoever's the easiest fight to make. I think the most obvious go-to right now is the Fraser Clark fight. I think it's the one that makes the most sense right now. I'm in a almost like a funny teetering position of where I'm at kind of world level. I can move into that section if I wanted to, but also there's still opportunity for me to fight maybe once more at British, defend that belt again and tick off another good win and then move on. And like I say, I've built a bit more experience and things and move into them world level. So I think Fraser's probably the right opponent for that at this moment in time. Yeah, potentially. I don't know where he's at in his career, what his plans are, but he's another good British fighter, obviously, that we're mixing around the kind of similar levels to each other now. So it just depends.
I mean, Spencer, Fabio, he's keen, he's fresh, he's open, and he just wants to go on with what's next for him. I mean, how refreshing is that?
Absolutely, and I think also he's proven, that he's had those fights. Nathan Gorman was the fight where we go, well, is Fabio Wardley, he's coming from that background of white-collar boxing. He's not really had the experience. Can he deliver? He proved in that fight in knocking Nathan Gorman out in 3 rounds. He got tagged in the second round. Bit down his gum shield, turned the screw, proved that he's got the minerals to become a champion, and he delivered there against Adelaide, another fight that a lot of people felt that he was going to come off second best. And again, he showed showed great boxing IQ by just holding his ground, waiting for his moment, and then he seized that moment. So I think that's a great performance. He puts himself up there in the mix. I still need to see him in fights. So Fraser Clarke is a great fight. That's a fight that I would like to see. And then you could talk about moving on to fringe contenders like Joseph Parker and people like that. And that's where you sort of see him going. But I think that his stock has definitely risen with that Adelaide win as well. I think that he could be the surprise package of this young heavyweights coming through.
I mean, does Wardley beat Fraser Clarke? That's what he's going to do.
Well, listen, if you look at the last 2 performances, and obviously styles make fights, and Spencer can talk about this more explicitly, but if you look at the Fraser Clarke's last performance, and we all like Fraser, and we know that Fraser's done some significant things in his career, as an amateur, but looking at the reality of the professional game, and you look at the performance against Dave Allen, you take nothing away from that and say, well, God, Christ, that weren't great. And you look at Fabio Wardley's performance and you say, Red Ants and Black Ants. I think it's an interesting fight. And obviously, of course, the opportunity was there, with the purse bid and with Ben Shalom pulling away from the mandatory opportunity that Fraser was given. It's an interesting fight.
It is. I think with what we've seen so far from Fraser Clarke, there's nothing there to suggest that he could beat Wardley right now.
Yeah.
But Fraser Clarke's one of those guys that you need that challenge to up your game, and I think that
he's big.
And I think that's what we need to see. I think that on the evidence that we've seen so far, like the Marius Wack victories and stuff like that, he's been a little bit too one-paced, but it's a fantastic fight with him and Wardley, and it's one of those ones.
Watch the space for Moses Atuma. Watch the space for this kid. Watch the space for this kid.
Okay.